eyes were screaming.
It took him 2 years to ask me to be his girlfriend.
She was like,
and then the shock sort of set in.
she was stressing the whole day.
I was like, can I have a pregnancy test, please? And then
Sexy sales manager, I think you said.
It was at that moment I realised.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about when we found out we were pregnant.
So our son is 1 now. His name's Roman. He was 1 in December, wasn't he? So he's 13 months now.
Before we start, we just want to explain the idea behind this channel. We're new parents and we don't want to come across that we know everything, and
we don't.
We absolutely don't, and that we know what we're talking about. Far from it. We actually still to this day have no idea.
Yeah.
We want to more just explain some of the tricky situations we've had in the first year of parenting.
How we dealt with them.
Share our experiences, so hopefully it can help other people out there that are new parents or about to become.
Every experience isn't going to be the same. Every new mum and dad aren't going to have the same sort of experiences, but this is how we did it. This is what happened with us. So we want to share that with you.
So before we tell you about the day we found out we were pregnant, we're going to tell you a little bit about us to give you some context.
So I lived in Bishop Stortford. You were living in Romford. And then we both worked in the leisure industry. Chris was a bit higher up than me in the company, so he was sort of here, there and everywhere. And then
Sexy sales manager, I think you said.
And then he got placed at my gym, and then we sort of became best friends. Did we just become best friends?
Did we just become best friends? Yep!
And then we started dating.
So we've been together for about 6 years now.
It took him 2 years to ask me to be his girlfriend, but we won't talk about that.
So we've been going out for a few years and we decided to move in with each other.
If we could live together without killing each other. We got a little 1-bed masonette in Brentwood in Essex. And then about 4 months later, lockdown hit.
Yeah.
And we managed to get through lockdown together, didn't we? We didn't kill each other.
I survived, Liz. I don't say that.
But you don't say that.
And then after, so we were there about 18 months. After the 18 months, we realised, yeah, we're fine. We're not going to kill each other. We actually live quite well with each other. So we decided to look at properties to buy.
So we ended up buying this place in Chelmsford in Essex, and we moved in April 2021. When we met, we wanted to do some travelling. We wanted to go and see some places. So there was a couple of things that we had on our list that we wanted to do before we had kids.
Yeah, on the list, I think first we did Dubai.
Yeah.
Then we went to Thailand, which is incredible. Then we flew to Singapore. And then the last one on the list was New York, wasn't it?
Yeah. However, we didn't actually make it to New York.
Yeah.
Because about 20 days before we moved into this place, we actually found out we were pregnant. Right.
Yeah. Which brings us to the reason we're here today. We're here to talk about the day we found out we were pregnant. Start off with my side of the story, and then you can tell your side. So I worked for a corporate company. I was working from home Monday to Friday, 9 till 5. I worked on the phones as well. I have to tell you this part because it's quite pinnacle to the story. Woke up one morning. I went to the toilet. Chris was getting ready for work. He works out on the road. I went to the toilet, and down the side of the toilet there was a box of tampons. And then it was at that moment I realised I hadn't used one for maybe a month and a half. And I thought, oh, I haven't used a tampon for a while. That must mean... And then the shock sort of set in. And then I didn't say anything to him because he was literally about to walk out the door to go to work. And I didn't want him to spend the entire day like worrying, stressing. Stressing. So I just said goodbye, whatever, as we normally did. He went off to work. And then on my lunch break, I walked over to the Tesco Express. And in those little Tesco's, they don't have like the medical aisle, you know, where you get paracetamols and stuff like that, pregnancy test. On the aisle, it's all behind the counter. I walked up to the counter, and then they still had the plastic screens up because it was still sort of COVID times. It was sort of coming out the other end. But yeah, I said to the guy behind the counter, I was like whispering, could I get a pregnancy test, please? And he was like, what? And I was like, can I have a pregnancy test, please? He was like, what? I was like, can I have a pregnancy test, please? And then everyone in the shop just turned and
Why
stared
is that
at me.
embarrassing? Why is that?
I
Why
don't
is it?
know. I feel like
why
there's
do
some
girls-
sort of stigma around it. Like
I've done it when I've gone to get pregnancy tests.
Yeah,
It's a bit like, ooh.
I mean, there shouldn't be, but there is some sort of stigma around asking for a pregnancy. It was also weird because there's been times in the past where I thought, oh my God, have I missed my period? Like, am I pregnant? I've gone to the shop, I've bought a pregnancy test, but I always buy the cheapest ones, you know, like you go in Poundland or Savers or whatnot, and you just buy the cheapest one because I think
You're not really convinced, are you?
Yeah, like you're not convinced that you're actually pregnant. But this time, after I'd shouted at the guy behind the counter, he was like, "Yeah, what one do you want?" And there was like a couple of different ones, and I chose the most expensive one, which was the clear blue. You know, the ones that say pregnant rather than the line.
You know, it's got like the little screen on it, and you can play Tetris and
Yeah,
Snake.
Snake. Yeah. So yeah, I chose the clear blue one. I think it was like $9.99 or something like that. But yeah, it also gives the dates and stuff. So anyway, walked home, put it away, and went back to work after my lunch break.
Poor Liz. So at this point, she was stressing the whole day.
Yeah.
For me, it was just a normal day. I'd gone out to work.
You didn't know anything.
Didn't have a clue. So I came home, and Liz would sit on the sofa with her laptop. It's not a good look, but
No.
she'd be sitting there. She was typing away, and I went over, gave her a kiss, said hello, and she was talking normally, and the words she was saying was normal, but her eyes were screaming. Hi, babe, you okay? Yeah, are you okay? Like, yeah, I'm absolutely fine. How was your day?
So the reason I couldn't tell him straight away when he walked in, because it was about 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and I worked until 5:30. And like I said to you at the start of the video, I worked on the phones, so I didn't want to start telling him and then my phone to ring because I couldn't miss calls.
Yeah.
So I had to wait until my working day had finished.
Yeah. So I went into the bedroom. We only had a one bed place. So Liz was in the living room. I was in the bedroom just doing some admin for work. Liz came in, eyes still screaming. Babe, I think I'm pregnant. So I said, okay, let me head to the shop and let me go get a pregnancy test. And she was like,
I'd put it down the back of my trousers.
yeah, she pulled it out quick time. So we done the pregnancy test and sat on the bed. It was quite nice actually.
It was nice, yeah. I was, I don't know why I was so stressing about it, because obviously we were going to do New York and then we were going to try and start to conceive anyway. But I had all these mixed emotions going through my head. So we did the test and then we left it in the bathroom, and then Christopher said, let's go lay on the bed, and we had a little 5-minute cuddle, which was really cute, wasn't it? And
yeah.
we didn't really say much to each other.
No.
I think you were quite reassuring with me. Like, you kept reassuring me, like, if it is, it's going to be great. Like, it's going to be fine. But like, the emotions were just taking over my head. And so what you were saying wasn't really resonating because my emotions.
You probably
so
couldn't
high.
hear what I was saying.
Yeah.
But so I actually went in to pick the pregnancy test up, and so I was the first one to see it, and I saw it said pregnant 1 to 2 weeks, and I came out of the bathroom, turned around, and said, "Congratulations!
Congratulations! You're going to be a mummy." I think you said.
Yeah, and the first 10 seconds when I saw that it was pregnant, I was a bit like,
Oh, no.
I was a bit like scared, but I felt like my emotions after the first 10 seconds just flipped to excited. Like, it was very linear. Like, the emotions I felt were scared for 10 seconds and then sort of excited and happy for the next 10 seconds. What was your emotions at that time?
You was really good in that situation. So basically, I think my emotions were high because as a female, when you find out you're pregnant, you're like, as a man, you find out you're pregnant. Not you necessarily being pregnant, but like when
Eric is pregnant. Eric is pregnant. Congratulations, Dippy. Oh.
As a man, when you find out like your girlfriend or your wife is pregnant, it's like, oh, kind of thing, or oh yes, kind of like whatever emotion it is. But you're not going to go through it. But as a female, because your body's going to go through it, your body's going to change. I think the mixed emotions I was having was, first of all, am I ready to do this? And then second of all, oh my God, what if Christopher doesn't want to do this with me? So I'm sort of like, before I'm processing the fact that I want to do this, I was thinking about, I was putting first your emotions, like, do you actually want to do this with me? I was thinking you more than me. And after the 10 seconds where your head like exploded a little bit and then you were absolutely fine and happy with it, that took that fear away. So then I was just dealing with my emotions. And then I was like, okay, yeah, like I can do this. Like I'm excited now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it took me a little bit longer. I think I had a little cry as well because
Little cry.
it was a big
It
cry.
was a big cry. It's just a melody of sort of emotions for you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to describe it, and I don't know if you can actually get this look on someone's face. I can't pull it myself, but it's a mixture of happy, scared, excited,
Yeah.
and apprehensive all at once. I think it's a bit like this.
I wanted to like stand up, sit down, cry, smile. Like there was so many emotions in my head. But like one thing I would say was the fact that Christopher dealt with it so well, because it's a weird situation. Like we were going to be trying to conceive anyway after our trip to New York, but obviously it was a shock to us because we weren't trying. And we just want to say as well at this point that we are so fortunate and so blessed and so grateful, because we know it isn't easy for everybody.
Yeah, we've actually got some really close people in our lives that have had troubles in the past. So
Yeah.
we are really sensitive to the fact that
It doesn't happen that easily.
it doesn't happen like that for everyone.
Yeah.
We was just super fortunate, and that's how we want to look at it, is with through a lens of gratitude,
Yeah.
rather than, oh well, it just came early. Like we were so fortunate it happened the way it happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're moving on to our 3 tips for this video. We have a dad tip, we have a mum tip, and then we have a couple tip.
Yeah.
The dad tip for me, I would say if you do the pregnancy test together as the dad or the man in the situation, make sure you congratulate your partner and make them feel safe.
Yes, that's a huge
Was that a
thing.
big
So
thing?
my mum tip would be just ride the wave of emotions. Like you're going to feel a million emotions in that moment. There's going to be good emotions, there's going to be bad emotions, scary. And don't feel guilty for any negative thoughts you might have, because it's so natural. But yeah, just ride the emotion wave.
Yeah. And our couple tip would be do the pregnancy test together. We done it together, and I'm so glad we did. It was a really special moment that we got to share.
Yeah, it was so nice. I think if I'd have done it alone, I would have been feeling those emotions all day for like 8 hours, and I would have been a nervous wreck. And then I probably would have been scared to tell you, like more scared to tell, because I'd already know and I don't know your reaction. So, and it was just a joyous moment that we got to share, and we'll all share that moment for the rest of our lives. So yeah, do it together if you can. It was nice.
Make sure you watch our next video, because we're going to be talking about our first trimester.
Tocophobia and hypnobirthing. So it's going to be a good one if you're expecting.
Ciao.
Bye.